Election slated for the 29th of July. The current president, Conde Riley, will not be seeking re-election, ending 7 years at the helm, spanning 4 terms. So far, just 3 men have confirmed their candidacy. Current Vice President Calvin Hope, the former West Indies and Barbados opening batsman Phil Wallace, and Jeff Broomes. He's a retired principal and former vice president, and we're trying to get him on the phone. Initially, it was supposed to have been on Zoom, but we've been told that he has some other issues, so we are trying to give him a ring in short order. But yeah, these elections coming up it's an interesting dynamic, Mariah, because we spoke with Phil Wallace recently, of course, him being a former player, and it's always interesting hearing from cricket administrators, especially at a particular age, as to how they view the future, the immediate future and the long-term future. And we'd love to hear what these candidates have to say. I think he's now on the line.
Let's try to connect.
Mr. Brooms?
Hi, good evening. I'm here.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm quite well. Well, today has been a rough day, like I told your associate earlier. I had a funeral this evening. A young guy I mentored, died at 45, too young to go. And my former next door neighbor, an alumnus of my old school, the College and Parish School. But unfortunately, I live in the north of the island, so I could not get back home to do this interview. So I had to stop. And unfortunately, the 3 different places I stopped, none of them had Wi-Fi. So that's why we had the phone call. So I do apologize for that.
Well, commiserations, sir. But let's get straight into this, because you're
Before we get
offering
straight into it, I want to make a statement, if you don't mind. Because I heard today that my good friend Conde Riley has chosen to demit office. And I want to commend Conde. He served for 10 years as president, be elected 5 different times. It's nothing small. So I want to congratulate Conde for his work, and I thank him for his service. Over to you, my friend.
Do you believe that he has done a good job?
If he's done a good job?
Yeah.
But I think Conde has done a good job. Yes, we have difficulties with some things we've done here or there, but the fact that the membership re-elected him 5 different times suggests that they were pleased, they were satisfied. I had issues with certain things, and I've always been my look Conde in the face. I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with that. But in totality, I cannot complain.
What are the issues that you've disagreed with him?
Well, no, you're taking me back. You're taking me back 20 years, though, the different issues I've disagreed with. Look, I do not feel we've done enough in terms of development of the big centre of excellence, which I can talk about this in any aspect. I don't think we've done enough to push the women's cricket, which is a baby of mine. I don't think we've done enough to acknowledge the outstanding quality of cricket that has come from Barbados. That would be a focus of mine as well. So there's things like that. And it's not Conde. I will never say Conde. He's just a leader. He's a part of a board. And you cannot do it on your own. If your board members, or any success you have, must come with the involvement and support of your board members. So Conde was a leader, and I think he must be commended because the membership has seen it fit to re-elect him 5 different times. Congratulations, my friend, and do what he has to do, Maybe, for instance, 1967, when we met on the 15 cricket match, his team destroyed us, but we returned the favour the next year. And Conde and I have all been friends. I have no issue with that.
Yeah, you've been a part of this, well, not this board, but you've been a part of the administration at the Barbados Cricket Association since 1990. You've run for president as well. Wasn't success...
No, I've never run for president before, never.
Sorry, you've run for the vice presidency.
But, is this Lance I'm speaking to?
No, Donald.
Donald, if you would give me 1 minute, so we don't have to be guessing, I would like to give you my profile of involvement and achievements for the Barbados Cricket Association. Is that acceptable to you?
Go ahead, you have a minute.
Good. Okay, I was first player and cricket master at St. Lucie Secondary School for 15 years. I was the manager of the Barbados Combined School teams for 10 years. I was the manager of the Barbados under 15, under 19, and senior national team. I was the manager of the West Indies under 19 team on a successful tour to England. The first time we ever did England one day, and Tess. Gus Logan is my coach. I was chairman of Barbados Youth Cricket Development, chairman of Barbados Cricket Women's Committee, originator, I should say, coordinated Iris Walker Women's Tournament, coordinated the inter-schools and the 13 competition, originated, coordinated inter-schools under 19 competition, originated under 13 as well, originated, coordinated the King's School Scholarship. We sent boys cricketers to England, do A-level studies, and play cricket at the same time, coordinated by me.
Yeah.
Coordinator, cricket benefit match in New York for Little Hartford, Connecticut. I was also president of Barbados Women's Cricket Association, vice president of West Indies Women's Cricket Federation. I was a board member of the BCA Cricket Association for more than a dozen years. I was third vice president of Barbados Cricket Association. I was first vice president of Barbados Cricket Association. I was a representative for the Barbados on the West Indies Cricket Board, and I was also director of the West Indies Cricket Board. That's my profile.
All right, Jeff.
That's what I'm bringing to you.
So what I get from you is you've done a lot for cricket, you know, not just Barbados, but, you know, in various capacities. So my question to you this afternoon is, if elected to that position, what are you going to bring to the administration differently based on what was done previously?
That is a very important and pertinent question. First of all, I think all of us, if you ask any of the candidates who's running for the presidency, they're going to say the same thing. We're going to focus on youth development. They're going to focus on women's support. We're going to focus on our strength of the clubs. We're going to focus on building our membership. We're going to focus on honoring our outstanding players. But that's the what. The what is very easy to say. That's what strategic planning is about. And so many strategic plans catch dust because they deal with the what and the implementation of the how, which calls for thinking and a clear understanding that leadership is about making decisions between equally deserving but competing entities. And whatever you do, you must be driven by your principles and your core inner principles, I should say. No, one, I honestly believe that the academic center of excellence is not doing justice to the great man. And we also understand that when students get 17, 18, 19, there's a clash. We do very well in youth cricket, but we don't go forward. Why? Because at that time, decisions had to be made. I was the deputy principal of school where our best batsman, when CXC was coming up, his parents pulled him away from cricket because he has to study. They looked at focus. We as a body can turn the academic center of excellence, which will be my focus, into an academy where it's not only people come to practice cricket, people come and learn about the history and rules of cricket, and we give support to the youth who are also pursuing academics. I'm an educator. I was a high school principal for 14 years. Education is my life. So
right.
That's one.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, I've done it before, I do it again. I don't see how we're helping women's cricket at all. I started the Irish Walker tournament. We cannot centralize. We got involved. We got expand and have a women's league in Barbados. And like I was having a conversation with my friend Roddy Eswick a few weeks ago when the Barbados women's team came back in from the tournament. We'd finished at the bottom. It has to be school-based. Where we link school children with some of our senior players, and we have coaches and give them the opportunity to have a tournament. Let's say we have BCA Elite, we have BCA First Division, all these kind of things. We must have a women's tournament that develop women's cricket. That's two. Three. I'm amazed that in 2025, Barbados Cricket that's produced people like Sobers and Hall and Wheats and Griffith and all great people. We do not have a Barbados Hall of Fame. I saw Ricky Ponting being inducted to the Australia Hall of Fame recently. Why do we not have a Barbados Hall of Fame? It's not difficult. I've had the opportunity to attend a Hall of Fame induction in New York Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. And it's not an expensive, as a matter of fact, it's a way that can open a revenue stream while also paying great homage to those outstanding people who define cricket in Barbados.
Yeah, Jeff.
Fourthly, our membership has been training because we don't get enough cricket. We have got to develop a social arm. Why can't we bring membership together at least once a week or once a month for some interaction and let them talk cricket, let them interact with members and make sure that what we are, they're getting some benefit for the money they pay for an annual dues. I guess you have another question.
Right, Jeff. I get some of the areas you will be tackling. One of the other things is, you know, and I highlighted this on the show before, I've always noticed that, you know, all those running for positions, they always talk about tackling the grassroots programs, right? And that's all fine. It's all good. But what I've noticed, the gap exists between the transition from those grassroots programs into the national team. Do you have any plans to tackle that as well?
What do you call the grassroots program,
So
first of all? What do you call that?
Okay, I am talking about the school program. So when I was in school, all the kids that did pretty well during those competitions, they didn't transition well into like the national setup or into the West Indies setup. So that's what I'm talking about.
But no, let's be clear. Let's not promise pie in the sky ideas. Very few schoolboy or schoolgirl cricketers that do well as will play for the national and West Indies team. Very few. But how can we expand that number? I said we have to give those 16, 17-year-olds support. That's what I think Ethnic Center of Excellence will do. And as I've read in my profile before, that has been my life. Youth development has been my life. That's why I recognize youngsters in Barbados came from primary school into the secondary school. They played the Herman Griffith tournament. But they had to wait until get virtually third form, unless they're really outstanding with second form, to play the under-15 tournament. That's why I initiated the under-13 tournament in Barbados. Inter-schools under-13. I got recognized also when you pass that stage. You played under-15. Most of all, lots of times, you're struggling between 17. I again introduced the under-19 inter-schools tournament.
Yes.
And I remember when I raised it at BCA meeting, Peter Short said, we don't have the manpower. I said, I will do it. I will get people on board to help me. And he gave me full support. No, I am not going to tell you that I, Jeff Broomes, will go forward and do A, B, C, D. I'm running to be leader of a team. And I can only be successful if I have the support and the involvement of my team members on the board. And I think I will get that support.
Okay, yeah.
To be fair, though, you have brought a lot of these issues to the fore in previous elections when you're running for a director's position. I can remember you speaking to our colleague Nikhil Chandani back in 2019 about a few of these ideas. Why is it that these ideas have fallen on deaf ears, and why do you think that you are the person to actually bring it to the fore? Because even back then, they were questioning your age at the time, saying that it was past your time, and you were saying, no, it's not. 6 years after, you still feel the same way?
I am younger than Condé Riley. My friend Condé Riley was the current president. I don't know what's past my time. I'm still very alert. I'm still teaching children every week. I'm still, over the last 5 years, I've written 6 books. I've just finished a book this week on the Barbados Cricket League and its impact on Barbados and West Indies cricket. How many people know that Gary Sobers and Everton Weeks and Seymour Nurse and Charlie Grimm came from the Barbados Cricket League? But I bring that to the fore. And I've also written a book. You may know it. You can go on Amazon and find it. The West Indies Cricket Journey and its Barbados Influence. Oh, I do these kind of things. I don't know past my time. If people want to say so, I want anybody to name one initiative in terms of developing, I mentioned mine like under 13, under 19, Iris Walker. I mentioned on the scholarship to England for Barbarian cricket. Name one person who done anything like that. That say is their time. Just one person. Right. The 2 people I heard that are also candidates, because I'm not running against anyone, I'm running for a position. Mm-hmm. The 2 people, I've known Calvin Hope, maybe from the time he came to secondary school. We went to the same secondary school. He came and found me at school. And we were, I was probably in second form or maybe third, I don't recall. I've known Phil Wallace, somebody got a lot of time for. When he first came on the 90s, I was his cricket manager. But what I like about Phil, he's always shown my wife and my daughter absolute respect. And I will never forget that. And these are the guys I like. Right. So I'm not running against them. We're running for position. One will win, one will lose. Whoever wins, I would like to think they've had enough sense, such vision and clarity to work with the others.
All right, Mr. Broomes, we have to go. We're going to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us on the SportsMax Zone. That's Jeff Broomes. He's seeking the presidency of the Barbados Cricket Association upcoming elections just in a few days' time. We'll take a short break. Back with more. The second